This morning I had some bees that needed some supplemental feeding up here near Brooksville. There's no nectar coming in yet. So I decided to go on a little turkey hunt before I went beekeeping, and went to the wildlife management area that I have a quota permit for all morning. Didn't see a turkey, didn't hear a turkey. Then came here to feed some bees on my property, and as I was walking down the little road here, I heard a bunch of scratching back in the woods. I looked back and there was a bunch of jakes, and so I ran back to my truck, got my shotgun and turkey loads, and ended up tagging out on 2 jakes here as I was beekeeping. And so I go turkey hunting, don't get anything. Go beekeeping, I get 2 turkey. That's how life goes sometimes. So I've got some kind of random stuff going on today. As you saw earlier, I was feeding some bees out up in my northern yard up near Brooksville, and shot a couple turkeys while I was up there beekeeping. And now I'm back in St. Petersburg and just checking on some hives, checking on a removal I did yesterday. Didn't see the queen. I got the bees, so I'm just wanting to make sure there's a queen in there. And also want to show you some rescue frames I got from a beekeeper friend of mine, and see how they're working. So we're going to check out this little nucleus colony right here and look for a queen. And if we don't have one, I think I have an extra one I can put in there. So we'll see how they're looking. So you can see this rescue frame has the hardware cloth attached on there, 1-inch hardware cloth, and we're able to take the comb as we do cutouts and just stick it on there. And as you can see right there, the bees are already working to attach that cutout comb onto this frame. And these are pretty handy. They're a lot easier than rubber bands. Here we have the queen. So this was a successful live removal job. Did yesterday, cut them out of a wall up on a 2nd story. It was a big job and couldn't find the queen, but I got all the bees pretty much. They had all clustered up, kind of like a swarm, so I assumed the queen was in there. Shook them into a nuke box and I got her, and she just disappeared. It's amazing how they can do that. Started the day in Brooksville, then in St. Pete. Now I'm in Terracea checking on some bees, and I got to make a bunch of splits later in the week. I got queens coming on Monday, and so I'm going to be making splits on Sunday. And I just want to start going through these colonies, checking how many are ready for splits, marking them, how many nukes I can get off of each colony. That way I know where they're at, what bee yards to go. I got to make up to 50 splits on Sunday, so I want to have it all ready. Also want to see how the nectar flow is going. Driving in here, I saw a lot of bottlebrush trees blooming, and also trees with yellow flowers all over them. I don't know what they're called, but I know the bees are working them. And so I do have a few extra supers if there's a lot of nectar coming in. And also got some nucleus boxes in case anything's wanting to swarm. I'll split it right now. So that's what we're up to here in Terracea. Usually I get pine needles for lighting my smoker, making smoke. The other day it had been raining all day, and yesterday I had a bee removal job. All the pine needles were wet everywhere. So I went to Walmart, bought some natural pine bedding, some hamster bedding, and this stuff does work good for the smoker. If everything else is wet, this is kind of my go-to right here. I'll go buy a bag of this. So this first little nucleus box was a swarm that we hived out of a swarm trap, I think in the last video posted. And so it was a small swarm. We're just going to take a look. Looks like they're doing all right. Yeah, definitely got good brood. Just saw the queen. There she is, right there. Not much nectar. I might give them a frame, a feed from one of these other colonies here. But that worked, hiving that swarm. There's a lot of brood in this first colony. We got a double brood box, and just in this top box, I'm seeing at least 8 frames of brood in various stages, and so we're going to be able to make at least 2 splits off of this colony here next week. Looks like we're a little late getting to this colony. Looks like they already swarmed. There's a queen cell getting ready to hatch. Only about 4 frames of bees in here, so I think we missed this one and they swarmed on us. Well, this bee yard wasn't looking as good as I'd hoped for. There's just not a lot of nectar coming in yet, and I thought there'd be more this time of year, but this is my first time keeping bees out here in Terracea, so just trying to figure out the nectar flows, what to expect. We did have a couple colonies look like they swarmed on us and missed it. Hopefully they'll requeen themselves. They did have queen cells. Had one colony that was a bit feisty. I'll probably have to go in and pinch that queen and requeen her, calm them down. And we're gonna keep checking some bee yards and looking for more colonies ready to split. Hopefully our other yards are looking better. I know back in St. Petersburg, most of our bee yards have nectar coming in over there. Clearwater has nectar coming in. And so it's just crazy how, you know, some of these places, I mean, out here it seems like they would have nectar coming out. I'm seeing plants flowering, I'm seeing trees flowering, but there's just very minimal nectar. And so hopefully nectar will start flowing soon. As soon as it does, the bees will start doing better out here. This is my last bee yard of the day. I'm in Pasadena at my sister's house and just have a few colonies. I think I got 10 colonies back here, and gonna see if any are strong enough to be split, mark them if they are. And I'm tired. I've been going for over 12 hours straight now, ready to go home and make some dinner. We're gonna be cooking up some of those wild turkeys, making turkey nuggets. That's one of my kids' favorite when we get a wild turkey. And so we're about done with the day. We're gonna go through about 10 more colonies here and call it quits. One of the things that I'm passionate about besides beekeeping is learning how to be self-sufficient. I love to forage, I love to garden, I love to hunt and to fish, and to know where my food's coming from and being part of the process. And behind me here I have a native plant called Smilax. And it's a vine, and in the springtime these little tender shoots grow out, and they're very good to eat. You can eat them raw. They're also excellent when cooked. When sauteed, they taste a lot like asparagus. And so I'm seeing a bunch of these popping up, and I'm gonna pick some. We're gonna have it with our wild turkey tonight. We're gonna have a completely foraged and hunted dinner tonight, and it's gonna be awesome. Here it is, last bee yard of the day. I'm back to burning pine needles. Plenty of pine needles here at this spot. This is one of my pine needle spots. So we're gonna go through these colonies, see if any are strong enough to split. We'll mark them, and we'll be back here later in the week to make the splits. This is awesome. This is a new frame. It was just foundation when I put it in there a couple weeks ago, and it is completely drawn out and filled with nectar. I just tasted it. It tastes like the bottle brush nectar that these bees work. They're growing all along Central Avenue here, leading out to Treasure Island. And so these bees have really turned the corner at this bee yard. This yard wasn't looking so good, and now there's lots of nectar coming in. I might put a little box here for producing some comb honey on this colony. They're looking really good. Drawing out a lot of new wax. Starting to make honey. That's the way to end the day right there. That last little bee yard turned out to be a good surprise. Got a bunch of nectar coming in. We got honey being capped. Added some extra honey supers. Put some boxes on for making comb honey. And as a bonus, I got a whole pile of Smilax for dinner tonight to go with our wild turkey. So it's about 6:11, started at 5 a.m. this morning. Was that a 13-hour day? I'm about ready to call it quits and go make some dinner. And that's a day in the life right there. This is the end of the day. You got your turkey nuggets. What do you think, Hava? They good?
Are they delicious?
Are they delicious and nutritious? Oh, they're hot. Yeah, we just got done cooking them. And there's our Smilax. Takes a lot of food to feed this bunch right here. How is it? Is it good? You like it?
Daddy, this isn't even a Happy Meal.
It's gooder than a Happy Meal?